Shout out to US ARC and all US ARC members. If you don't know what US ARC is, don't be ashamed. Just go ahead and click the third link in the description below. See what US ARC is all about, okay? You never know when legislations are going to hit your backyard, so that's why it's very important to consider becoming a US ARC member today. These numbers really do matter, and they look at it for consideration when it comes to battling legislation. So first and foremost, thank you, Phil Goss. Thank you to anybody out there who partners up and volunteers with US ARC organization. Thank you for anyone out there who's a US ARC member. And if you can't become a US ARC member today, please talk about it on your platforms. Let your neighbors know, let all your pet stores know what US ARC is here for, and it's here to fight for our animal rights. Thank you to every US ARC member and US ARC supporter out there. True.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Trap Talk Reptile Network, coolest reptile network in the world, episode 713 on the Tree Tuesdays. Carly, Coastal Morelia, aka Queen of the Yellows. Somebody said in the chats. I don't know. We'll see. But listen, I'm your boy MJ. We're in for a good night. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, select all. You'll be reminded of every podcast released at a network, but this is all Tuesdays with you and with me, the mayor of Chondro Town, Bill Stiegel.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, buddy.
I know you know Marshall has been detained in a meeting. I don't know if he's going to be dropping in later or not, but I'm sure going to miss his technical difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, this should be a very smooth podcast without Marshall, but yet he's missed. So we'll see. Anyways, but man, what's up, Bill? How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Doing good. Just,
hey, happy belated birthday. My man, Bill Stiegel, 43 and a half. Unbelievable.
Plus 17 and a half.
I didn't want to add that number, but go ahead.
let me do my math right.
Yeah, man. How do you feel, bro? How was your weekend? Let's see. I want to know what your birthday week was all about.
It was really good. Had family come in. We had a party, family and close friends on Friday. Went to a Van Halen cover band concert on Saturday.
Nice.
Shot in sporting clay tournaments Saturday and Sunday. So it was a great weekend, long weekend. I was pretty damn tired come Monday, but refreshed and ready to go.
Yeah, man. Again, I'm glad you had a great birthday. We talked quite a bit as far as where you're at currently going into next year. I know you've already got an ovulation with your collaboration, your legendary collaboration at this point with Buddy. Because this is, remind me, the fourth or third year you guys been collabing now? Remind me how many years this is?
I think this is the third year.
This is the third. Okay.
Yeah, this is the third year. We had 1 year where we didn't hit up there. So I think this is actually the third clutch, but I think we've been working together for 4 years now. So, yeah, it should be a good one. It was sickness, male offspring, Neisseria, that he's had up at his place since it was a hatchling. Yeah. So he's had it up there a long time now, and he's doing great things with it. The neos that we've produced, it's been funny. We've never had a repeat pairing. He's paired that male to a different female every time. That's awesome. Really looking forward to this one. The female's Trooper Walsh. I think it's Trooper Walsh. Is that the New Blue? Is that Trooper's line? I think so.
New Blue? I can't honestly.
No, it's Bushmaster. It's Bushmaster New Blue line female that he bred to up there in Maryland. So, yeah, looking forward to that. I've got some pairings going now. I literally just started my season last week. And have that clutch, that freight train clutch that's due to hatch in 4 days. So
exciting.
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting this week. What about you? What's going on your end?
Man, just, trying to figure
shit out. 2-month-old. Is Enzo 2 months old yet?
2 months, bro. He's not even a month yet. He turns a month in 2 days. So yeah, listen, as much as I'm like, damn, I wish this stage just hurry up. I'm also trying to just soak in the moment. It's only going to be temporary, but I'm like, fuck, man, this lack of sleep is brutal.
these are tough days. I know. I experience it secondhand through my son and his wife. As you know, they've got a 3-month-old and a 3-year-old. No, a 9-month-old and a 3-year-old.
And our guest tonight is on the exact same fucking boat. If she's further than we are, she just had her son Jamie, I think a few months before Enzo came, and then she also has a 3-year-old as well. So, dude, so we're gonna hear how she's doing.
I'd like to.
Is that me or him?
Because I get to pack them on their way.
Is that me or you, Bill? Am I okay?
Looks like we're having a little Marshall technical difficulties on MJ's end.
Oh, that's
you there?
Okay. Yeah, you're good. We're good. We snapped out of it. Say what you just said again. I'm sorry. Just repeat what you just said.
I said I wish I could say we were in the same boat, the three of us, but I get to send them along their way whenever I'm done with them. And fortunately, not the case with you guys.
Well, Bill, you're doing major things with these hands of yours. Okay, so you have quite the story. But anyways, let's get to it. I'm excited for Carly. Without further ado, you ready to bring her on or what?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys, you're in for a treat. Hit that like button, especially if you like them yellows, because it is Carly, Coastal Morelia, on this beautiful Tuesday evening. Episode 713 coming at you right now. Do what you got to do to get your mind right, and do what you got to do to stay hydrated. Episode 713. Let's go. Choo!
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man.
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes.
Exclusive. Oh.
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, God love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it.
And we are live, episode 713. Hello, Miss Carly.
Hi,
Nice
Carly.
Hi. Happy late birthday.
Let me say before Bill, nice shirt. I like that shirt.
I had to change. I saw Bill wearing mine, so I went.
So you ran to the closet, grabbed your Phoenix Reptile shirt.
I did. I ran to the closet.
Well, absolutely. I love my shirt. Very, very comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little bit extra with the quality of it.
My shirt's staying still, so I need a new one. Remember, I told you that a long time ago.
Well, yeah, I asked you if you got the stain out, and you couldn't remember. So I will get you a new one.
It's not.
You can blame it on the kids, right, MJ? That stain?
Yeah, it was, but it was actually it was hot wings, I think it was.
Nice. Good luck getting that out.
That's not coming out.
Hey, Carly, welcome, dude. Is this your first All in the Tree Tuesday? Is this the first? You've been here before?
This is the second one.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Because I can't remember if it was me and you on a podcast and it wasn't Tuesday, but okay, you remember. All right, so Tuesday, here you are. We were just talking about you having 2 kids now. Can you tell us what that's like?
Exhausting. It's exhausting. We're still you're doing a lot better on the sleep front than we have done with Jamie. Jamie is just now sleeping about 3-hour stretches. And
Oh my God.
occasionally he'll sleep from the time he goes down until 4 a.m., which is amazing. But then he's up at like 4, 5, 6. So
Wow.
I don't even remember those days. I think that's kind of like childbirth. You forget about it. Like once it's over, at the time you're saying, I'm never going to do this again. But then
we definitely are already, we're not that bad because we're talking about having a third. So
that's what I'm talking about. See?
Yeah, from what I could tell, having a kid is like partying way too hard, and your hangover is like 6 months long, and then it wears off, and you're like, wow, maybe we could do another one, and then it's all over again. You're just like,
it's like you said in the beginning, just kind of soaking up the moment. I heard somebody say not that long ago, you will never get this version of them back.
Yeah.
So enjoy it because you will never get that back again.
So
and it just kind of stuck.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I'm doing my best to just stay in the moment.
But MJ, are you guys have you talked about number 3 or number 4 or 2 and out?
No, the second one just came out.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I mean, like kind of not really. She's talking about me getting snipped, to be honest. And so I'm like, well, what's reward with that? Because, she's talking about like delivery presents or some shit. Okay, I get it. I'll hook you up. But what if I get my fucking thing snipped? What's my gift? And I hope it's something up there, like a fucking Bill Stiegel designer or something. Because I'm not doing it. I don't know. Am I tripping, Bill? I mean, is that like, I get, because it's like, you can't undo that, right?
Yes, you can.
You can?
Yes.
You can do it.
Reversible. Yeah. And it's 20 minutes. You walk out with an ice pack. Oh,
cool. So sweet. Good to know about the ice pack. All right. Anyways, let's kind of move forward to CHONDROS. That's why you're here anyways. Dude, quite the year. It's like, you had, I want to say maybe the couple clutches you had during your pregnancy, like you had a smaller clutch of eggs that were only 3. But then you ended with in a bang in a sense, because you had 2 more clutches after that clutch. Can you kind of talk us out your year? So what went down this year?
Yeah. So, I mean, I had a really small clutch that was kind of like it wasn't a repeat, but it was the love male to a different Biak female. And then they laid a really small clutch. And then I have 2 more that I tried in the spring. That was the first time I have tried a spring pairing.
Yeah.
Because those have never worked for me in the past. Yeah. So I did one that had also a relatively small clutch, only 3 babies hatched out. And then the most recent clutch that I just had hatch was a clutch of 8 total. So, and both of those, they went really well. There was no cycling done whatsoever. I just tossed snakes together. They did their thing, and it worked out really well. And then the season is just continued. It's still going. I've got 3 females off food right now. So
Carly, were you having small clutches that had good successful hatch rates, or did you start out with larger clutches and then only ended up with a few Neos?
So both of the ones that were really small, they laid like 9 eggs, but some of them were slugs. And then it never failed that there was like 4 or 5 that actually candled well. And then I just always lost 1 or 2 in that first couple weeks. So they just ultimately were just a bunch of little eggs. So
any theories why relatively small clutch sizes? Were your females small or?
Yeah.
One of them was, so the really bold Neos that just hatched, that girl is relatively small. She doesn't take to breeding really well. Every time that we've tried to pair her or put a male with her, she gets really stressed out and she just hates it. And she ends up coming down with a respiratory infection to the point that like when I've cycled her before, like I've pulled her off and been like, okay, we're not doing this. And she didn't have a respiratory infection until it was too late. By that point, this past year when I brought her, I was like, okay, we finally have a male that you're not bothered by, that's not stressing you all out completely to the point of sickness. And then she got a little sick towards the end. So And that's why we're not pairing her again. She's bounced back body composition really, really well, but I'm not comfortable pairing her until I know. Because like I said, we've cultured her and everything. So I don't know necessarily why she just all of a sudden, every time a male goes in there, where they get sick. So
I've heard that before, by the way, Carly.
Yeah, I have too. And that's what makes me feel a bit better. Because the first time it happened, I was like, I don't like this. Why are you doing that? But I think that was the cause of the small clutch there. The other female has never given me a good clutch before. So I think that's a her thing. The first female, the one that had the 3 eggs in the beginning of the year, she was the one that actually gave me my first clutch. That ended up completely crashing at like day 35. They just all of a sudden overnight, all of them formed windows in the same area that there were like little spots when they were laid. And it ultimately, what it came down to that I'm aware of at least, was it was just poor calcification on her end. So I actually gave her a calcium supplement prior to pairing her and her laying. And the eggs were good. There just was not that many.
Did you, when you had that windowed clutch, did you try to intervene and do like Elmer's glue or?
I tried everything. I fucked up royally because I'm over here. I'm doing the thing that you shouldn't do and asking everybody, hey, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Tried everything. And in the end, like I had a couple of people, Pat was one of them. Buddy Bashimi was one of them. And they're like, it's just not meant. It's just probably poor calcification. It's nothing you're doing. It's not meant to be. You just got to let it ride.
Yeah.
So, and I was that was the first clutch that I had. So I was kind of, heartbroken by that, but.
So it was also her first clutch too. Like you gotta understand, like they're not every first clutch is going to be pretty, or like, a pretty experience or, for instance, I've even had girls that slugged out and then the next year have really good, eggs. So yeah, I don't know. What would you have to chalk that up to, Bill, about like having smaller clutches? You think that's more on the male side or on the female side? If it was a regular thing, you would say,
Yeah, I haven't really figured it out, to be honest. But I've had that experience where I had a large female lay a relatively small clutch, like 6 eggs, no slugs, just 6 eggs. And then when I paired her again a year later, she had a more normal size clutch. So,
did you pair with the same male?
Yeah. That's a good question. Yes, I did. Same male, repeat pairing, and had a more normal sized clutch. So
see, I've had people that will say, oh, it's the male. If you're having small clutches, it's the male. But that was 2 different males for 2 different clutches, and then that was the same male. So like Hot Sauce's clutch, that was 19 eggs. So and that was the same male. So
yeah.
That was I was gonna say you've had a big clutch before, but like I've always been in that range of like 11 to 16. I think the as far as what I've seen, but trust me. I mean, I don't know if I want a 20-something bus clutch. I didn't want to experience one, like just to and I hope it's a fucking sick ass clutch. But either way, I mean, I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like getting healthy eggs. There's steps that are definitely needed that should be taken. And I just mean in general, my biggest thing that helped me this year was definitely soaking. I feel like, or just making sure that girl was hydrated and cleared out. And I got Bill to thank for that because Bill's been preaching about that on the show for a while now. And I always was stressed about doing it, but dude, they drink, they shit afterwards. They're fine. So props to Bill. Yeah.
Well, it is a little unsettling to, put them in that soak box. And when I soak them overnight, none of this like 2-3 hours, go back and get them. I mean, I give them a good overnight soak.
That makes me nervous because they're so stupid.
I don't do that.
They're so stupid.
Trust me, there's not a whole lot of water in that soak box.
Yeah.
And I usually put a little towel in there or something that worst case scenario, if they're going to drop their head down, they can use that towel. And I've never had one drown, knock on wood in a soak box, whether it's before they laid or after. I soak them overnight after they lay, and they can really, as you guys know, can really be gassed out after that. So I think there is certainly a little bit of risk about soaking them, especially after they lay. But I haven't had any trouble with it, and they seem to bounce back really well. You know, when you soak them, hydrate them after they lay. So I think it's a good practice.
Yeah, you know, I think we've had this guy on from Australia. Oh man, I don't. It's not the Chondro Collective. It's the Australian guy, All See Chondros or something like that. He was the one telling us about injecting the pinkies with water before he feeds them and stuff like that. But he just posted something on his Instagram how he does it for his females. He showed a rat that he was feeding, a rodent that was feeding, that was just gutted full of water, and it doesn't explode or anything. It goes right in, but it's like, man, I mean, those are small measures I feel like that could help, you know, especially getting a girl to bounce back. I mean, dehydration is what they look like they're going through the most after they lay. They just look like shit for the most.
I don't even know, like, I've talked about this before, and other people have seen their gravid females drink. I have not. I mean, I can't even remember watching one come off that perch and get down and you know, get into that water bowl.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I just, you know, if I've ever seen it, I don't remember it. So I think they could go a very long time, you know, without drinking towards that later stage when they're getting ready to lay. They just don't want to leave that heat.
Yeah.
I've had really good luck with taking the bowl up to the snake.
Yeah.
I've tried elevated water perches or elevated water dishes. You know, David Brahms, I think, still makes something you can put a 16-ounce deli cup, you know, mount it to the perch or the side of the cage or whatever.
Yeah. What I noticed this year, Bill, you know, because, you know, it's funny because you always say you're not in your room. You're not in your room at nighttime. You're you know,
usually not. No.
Yeah. So me, I'm fucking in here goddamn 24/7 at nighttime, and I noticed a couple girls that were in their lay box, and this was around the time period where I was like comfortable still leaving the bottom perch because it had that David Brahms water dish. Yeah. And it was at the same level of the height of the egg box. So I remember seeing two females just literally poke their head out of the egg box, stretch it to the water dish, drink, and then just go right back in. So could say that I saw my girl right before they lay drinking water, which was cool to see. Yeah. So,
it's cool. It's cool to see them drinking water anytime.
Yeah.
You know, like most people are excited. They show pictures of their chondros eating. I'm like, well, shit, that's easy. You know, get a picture of them drinking out of their water dish.
Especially when you just change it. Like, you know, if you change your waters and like close the lights off, come back in like 20 minutes. You'll be surprised how many snakes are down there drinking because they know that shit's fresh. I'm telling you.
And they take big, long drinks. That's what I love. It's so cool to see.
You seen your emerald drink water? Have you seen how fucking they just sit there and just chug? Have you seen that yet, Garlic? Oh my God. Dude, I shit you not, Bill. These emeralds will drink for 20 minutes straight. They'll sit there, they'll put their face in the deli cup and just slowly open their mouth. If you look carefully, they're just drinking water. And it's like, what the fuck?
I've got the the deli cup holders that Brahms makes that goes on like the side of the cage, not the perch.
Yeah.
And I've got one of the basins is notorious for she just lays, like she just perches over and she's in it. And half the time I see her face in it and she's just drinking. And I was like, is she gonna drown?
Yeah, you're gonna drown.
That's crazy.
All right. So getting back to your production, you know, the last two clutches you had of the year, can we run through those ones, the most recent ones that you had? Because they were pretty close to each other, right?
Yeah, they hatched out about a month apart.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. What was the pairing? All that good stuff.
So the first one was one of Garrick's animals, Kronos to Siren, and he was paired with an animal that was produced by my partner and best friend Kaylee and Jay Taylor. So they produced from a Cyclops to a TK animal some babies that really kind of like blew up originally because they had that really super like insanely bold pattern. And she kept two of those. One ended up a female and one ended up a male. And the female is at my house and her name is Halo. And she's got a gorgeous green color with just these giant blue triangles. And the goal was because the male also had a really bold dorsal pattern, and the babies that he had back in 2024 those babies had a really bold pattern as well. So the goal was to kind of just end up with bold patterns all the way around. And we got that. We got one that was more normal, one that is bold, but it doesn't look bold next to like the crazy super bold one.
Right.
We didn't get any reds, so I don't have anything to compare. I don't have anything to compare.
So the sire came from Garrick, right?
Yeah, wait.
Yes, the sire was red.
Carly, say that again. You didn't get any what?
We didn't get any red.
All right, guys, that's all we have for tonight. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. So the sire came from Garrick, and it was red.
Yeah.
He produced with a yellow female, obviously, right?
Right.
Yes.
And you produced all yellow neos.
All yellows. Yeah, but it is small sample size. It was only three eggs. There was a fourth egg, but it made it all the way through incubation. There was nothing in it.
Yeah.
Like it never went bad. It was just nothing.
Interesting.
Like, dude, listen, I say what you got to say about yellows, but this is the kind of shit right here that makes every yellow lover in a good place, because this is insane. I really love what you have going on here. And do the parents have any kind of descendant, like other kind of clutches that showing stuff like this? Carly, were you expecting getting a neonate like with this kind of patterning and the other ones that you got, which we're gonna
so I mean the GG animal had produced prior with like a sarong lineage female, and they had some really bold babies, but it wasn't anything like that. That I'm telling you came from the mom. That came from the mom, because the mom had this like insane bold pattern. And her mother as a neonate also had it, and her mom was bred to a cyclops by Tad. Oh, I can't say his last name. It starts with a D.
Dwayne.
Yes, he produced a batch of cyclopses, and that male was then bred to the TK female, which has a pretty decent lineage. That's from Greg Maxwell.
Have you noticed, Carly, any of those animals to go on to, like, once they go through their OCC, do they look different? Like, I'm just trying to like compare like Blaze Neos, Blaze Yellows.
Yeah.
The Blaze Yellows that I've had, and Jaeger used to produce exclusively Blaze Yellows. Super cool when they were Neos, but they didn't eventually evolve into, something that you could look at and say, oh, wow, that was a Blaze Neo.
That one right there, that's going to keep its pattern. I have no doubt that that's probably going to turn bright blue like the mom, because the mom, you can still see every ounce of the pattern that she had. I posted her on my story this afternoon. So it's the older picture of the yellow Neo with like the giant triangles on it. And she's still the same. It's just, instead of it being red and yellow,
this one
is no. Keep going. That's Glacier.
That
one. That's the mom.
Yeah, that's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
going to be a lot of blue then. If that red pattern, eventually red dorsal ends up turning blue, that's going to be a lot of blue.
Yeah, that's everywhere that is red on her. There is still blue on her now. And the brother that Kaylee has, and then Dan McMillian had one. He sold it. I don't know who he sold it to, but it was also really bold as well. But all of them have kept that really bold blue pattern. So that was kind of the intention, was to kind of bring that out a little bit. And we definitely saw it. I do wish that we had gotten her red, because I would have liked to see how her bold influence happened on a red. On a red,
yeah, for sure.
Dude, this thing gives me fish vibes without the black. I know fish don't got no black, but this right here is like this. Was this a yellow neonate?
No, it's a red.
Oh man, that's fire. Okay, is that mom on here at all, Carly? Is that we're talking about? Like,
yeah. So if you, if you go, you can go to that story. It's one of the 2025 clutches, not the most recent one. Probably that one.
Second one. All right, these are so cool. Story by Carly.
Yeah, so there's the dad and there's the mom.
All right, there's the mom, Bill. Yeah, look at that pattern. It's still there, dude. Damn, that's nice.
Really, really nice.
Fuck. All right. I mean, yeah, that's nice.
Pat says that we should redo that pairing exactly.
I would say so.
He thinks that,
yeah, you need more of those.
So good.
Yeah.
You need more of those. You know what I realized too? You know, I think I should redo the pairing that made fish. I would be stupid not to. I feel like like that's what's important to like almost you got to duplicate whatever it is that you made that you're amazed about, and there's not enough yellows like that out there, Carly. So I feel like that's kind of what's gonna, you know, give you guys a boost if anything. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot of good reasons to do repeat pairings.
Yes.
You know, probably the first and foremost is that they're compatible.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they definitely did, but like I said, the only thing with her is the whole issue with getting, you know, a respiratory infection. That's obviously not ideal, especially because I'm not going to hit her with ceftaz when she's gravid.
Yeah.
So
what did you do? You just let her ride it out?
No, nebulized her with amikacin.
How bad was it though? Like, because I feel like there's levels to the RI shit. You know, like there's severe, and then there's like, okay, her mouth is open a little bit, she's breathing, gargling. Like, how bad was it?
The later, yeah. It wasn't like, dear God, I think we're gonna lose her. But it was like, I really don't like this.
Yeah.
But
I had a female just recently, and I feel like this always happens. You know, I had that one cold front that we finally got. I left my window open. She's right here. And sure enough, I saw like, you know, she had a little RI, she had a little mouth thing. So fucking swabbed her, put her in the incubator for 3 days, and that shit was healed up. And then when I put her back in, I just made sure her basking was like at 86, 87, like a lot higher than what I just gave her basking. And not a week later, she shed and she looks great. She's perfect.
Well, and that's why, I mean, it cleared up. I mean, she was still a little bit on the like obvious respiratory infection side when she laid. Yeah. Which obviously made me really nervous about it. But then it just went away.
Yeah, that's nice.
But that's not the first time that has happened. So it gives me suspicions that she's just, I don't know, maybe she's just dramatic.
Yeah.
And obviously, Carly, you said you swabbed her. Obviously, you checked her for nido. Did you do bacterial swab as well, or just treat her with the amikacin?
Yeah, I mean, we ran a full culture on her. So.
Yeah. And did it come back like did the culture grow and it grew bacteria and they were sensitive to the amikacin? Yeah. That's nice.
They would have been sensitive to the ceftaz too, but ceftaz, I don't know. An injectable on a gravid female just doesn't. That's not something I want to do.
Yeah. I had Socrates and Alan. Do you remember Alan, Bill, the other basin guy? I think you might have met him once, at least at Tinley. I could have sworn you have. But they both had females that got RI right in the middle of them being real gravid, and gave them maybe it was Fortaz. I can't remember. Maybe it was the other one. Not Benadryl. What's the other one? Anyways, they gave him something that ended up fucking ruining the whole pregnancy, basically. And then I know one out of the two females didn't make it. So it's just not something good to interfere with. I feel like, you know, or just if you do expect that whole pairing just to go to shit, you know what I mean? If you are going to put medicine in them. So it sucks. But other than that, did you have any kind of fucked up things happen to you this year? And we always talk about horror stories with Chondro, and I don't want to bring up bad stuff, but anything that you want to put awareness out that maybe you experienced this year? I had a lot, and I feel like I should do a whole episode around it, but I want to hear what you went through this year, Carly.
I can't say that I don't think that we really had anything bad happen this year. Now I lost that male, but that was last year.
Oh, do you want to talk about that?
Oh, we can. Yeah.
Man. All right.
What happened there?
All right. Well, hold on. Let's talk about what snake this was first and foremost. Let's see why this is such a deep story.
Yeah,
so
I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it away, Carly.
Yeah. So that was the barn. I had picked up two calicos from Christian Stewart. I picked up a male and a female, and they both were great. They came in. They were perfectly fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, that one.
They
came in and they were great. I didn't have any issues out of any of them. And unfortunately, of course, it happened when I wasn't home. So I had fallen down our stairs when I was heavily pregnant and ended up on, I had to go into the emergency room and they kept me at labor and delivery for 48 hours, which was miserable. And I'm somebody who goes and I lay eyes on my animals every single day.
Yeah.
So I kid you not, because my front door is literally just right here. This is the front room. Walked in, and he was in a Cambro tub, and I looked over, saw something that looked weird, and came, and sure enough, he had probably the largest prolapse I have ever seen.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So I was exhausted. Everyone was exhausted.
Yeah.
But Greg and I worked really diligently to attempt to, get everything out without rupturing anything. And then
Was it really backed up? Like, was there a lot to get out? Like, was it?
No, there really wasn't.
Yeah.
There really wasn't that much.
Like a 2-year-old animal? Looks like it's about 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a hard hit. That was a very hard hit. I kind of took a step back from the Instagram for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't think I actually came back to doing a lot of posting or like being in groups or anything until after the baby was there and whatnot, because I was like, I'm going to take a break. This is not something I need with the hormones, and, we're getting ready to have a baby. I was on bed rest at that point. So we just took a break from it, but
it's a lot to deal with. You know what I mean? Especially like, okay, money aside, even though, it's a really expensive animal, but money aside, you love that animal. Like that was, enough for you to fucking invest in it. And you have plans, and things just don't go to plan all the time. Right, Bill? Like like you are going to be tested so many times. And the scary thing is like, that's probably not Carly's ever last fucking test in this game. Like it's going to keep happening. You know what I mean? And so, thank you for sharing that, by the way. I know sometimes I've known people who said, I don't want to bring it up at all. I mean, Bill didn't talk about the sickness for a good year or so publicly, right? Like,
probably.
Well, I didn't even know. I remember messaging you and being like, "Oh, can I come? Can I come see?" And you're like, "Oh, yeah, no."
But you did come.
I did come, but you meant like, no, you can't come see the sickness.
No.
And you're like, "Oh yeah, he's gone."
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here scrolling through Facebook. I'm like, did I miss something that was so rude of me to bring up?
No, I mean, I still remember the day I walked in there and saw him just, dead on the floor. No prolapse, no, he had skipped a meal maybe the week before. It's the only snake I've ever gotten a necropsy on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still remember the day I walked in there and was like, damn, this is tough. And
that was cancer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was renal kidney cancer.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Kidney tumor.
At the end of the day, these snakes, that's the thing, is they get sick, they have issues, they have heart issues.
Yeah.
You'll end up with cancers, tumors, all sorts of stuff.
Okay, Carly, tell Bill. I don't know if Bill, you remember me explaining this, but my Malucan scrub pythons that I had, Bill?
Yeah.
So my female that now Carly has, she lost her tongue. Her tongue rotted off. And Carly, why don't you explain what the hell you found out my female Malucan, my Xantic Malucan had, and what she's clear of it now, but why don't you explain how that scenario happened?
Yeah. So, I mean, well, you had told me that she had, what did you say? What's like an injury or something?
I fed her. I tried to bump her meal up. So it was like the first large rat I gave her. And then a couple days later, it looked like it was shit, but now that I think about it, I think she regurged it because maybe it was too big or something. And I'm thinking the regurg, because it was a big fucking rat, and we know how kind of claws a large rat has. And I'm thinking something punctured her tongue while she was either eating it or puking it up or something, because it caused that infection down there. And that's
stomatitis.
Yeah, and that's what I was told, from the vet that I took it to before I sent it over to you. But they didn't tell me the tongue was gone. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
I got her in. I had a wonderful vet that I actually used to work for. So I have access to that kind of stuff. And we took her in. We got her checked out. We did a culture because she had a little bit of a kind of like a little bit of a pooch under her throat. And obviously the no tongue issue was really interesting. checked it out. Definitely no tongue, but there wasn't any damage done to like the bottom mandibular areas or anything like that. So it was just more likely a case of a stomatitis that just kind of rotted that tissue off. And she acts and eats just fine. But she did have, so she had a secondary bacteria that is notorious. Anytime you get an animal that is stressed out, and which is exactly what happened to that girl. Anytime you get one that is had an injury, been stressed out, anything like that, Pseudomonas is the most opportunistic bacteria you will ever see. And you don't have to come in contact with it. It just sneaks in. Like it's normal. It just is around. And then when you get an animal that's even slightly immunocompromised, stressed, or anything like that, they can end up with Pseudomonas, which is super easy to treat, thankfully. So we got her, treated with that, and she's perfectly fine. She's perfectly fine now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't need that tongue.
No, she don't need it. She does not need that.
The necropsy you got on sickness, was that the one and only you would ever do, Bill, or will you ever do one if you need to? Like, what's your stance on that?
I don't know. I guess it all depends on the circumstance and the animal. Ultimately, it's not going to change anything.
It gives peace of mind, though.
Yeah, a little bit of peace of mind. That was right around the time that I guess Nido had been around for a while. Obviously, they can, they can test for Nido and a necropsy. It was Nido negative. So yeah, that was really the reason that I, wanted to do the necropsy. I guess somebody on the show has done a Nido test on a deceased animal, right? A swab. Is that right, MJ?
Yeah. Well, so somebody got a snake in and then it died. And I can't remember if I think he did. Okay. So this snake came in and died. He froze it and then he unfroze it and then he tested it and it still came back positive.
Yeah.
From what he said. And I don't know how that works. I mean, I know freezer can kill some shit, but goddamn, how bad was this Nido? Like, God, fucking dude, not even a freezer could kill it. I mean, I don't know. And so, I don't know, like I said, I feel like at the end of the day, there's just, there's definitely ways to avoid it. But the thing that matters to me if a snake dies is I don't give a fuck about the Nido test, man. Let me know this thing did not die of Nido. And if it was some sort of cancer, God bless. Yeah. But I understand people like you, Carly, who like to geek out and want to know the source or the root of the problem, which I get that. I wish I was more like that. I'm just not. I don't.
Yeah, it's not a matter of geeking out. I think what it really comes from, I'm really hard on myself. So I want to know if something happened. Like I've had 3 animals. I've had 3 animals that I knew for a fact they did not have Nido, that I've had pass, and I've had necropsies done on all of them. Yeah. And I want to know that it wasn't my fault, that it wasn't something that I did that I need to fix in my husbandry. Sometimes that makes me feel worse because it's like, dang, there was nothing I could have done. So that's really irritating, but it just gives me peace of mind that I'm doing everything right. I'm sorry, but the necropsy coming back and saying, well hydrated, well body condition, that makes me feel good. Like I was doing something right. It just couldn't have been prevented.
Yeah. All right. Before we shift things into some yellow talk, I want to know how the establishing went overall this year. Like anything you did differently this year than last year? How was your mood going into it? Like, were you kind of like, fuck, here we go? Or, were you like, all right, bring it on type of thing? Where were you at this year with it when it came to establishing?
Honestly, I can't say that I had a lot of issues, which I think this most recent clutch, the high yellow clutch,
yeah, I guess some weird.
That one is giving me there's a few of them that are giving me a bit of a headache. They're notorious. They're like, I've never seen them attack a freaking pinky, but they're not actually hitting it. They're they're all over the place. And I'm like, how
the calicos do that. I was talking about it earlier when I was talking about how, I mean, Bill, you remember me talking about how the calicos were striking at thin air. And I was like, what the fuck are these things doing? And they would even strike, miss, and then corkscrew. Like they would act like they did catch something and they would turn and then they would fall off the perch. It was very weird.
These are doing the exact same thing. Cause I'm like, why are you so crazy? Why are you so spastic?
Grab him by the back of the fucking neck and it's go time. That's all you got to do, man. Seriously, hey, you're gonna go nowhere with that snake. I'll tell you right now. Those snakes that were doing that to me after 3-4 fucking meals, send it to Dagestan. Forget about it. They were good, dude. They're fucking savages now. They're ready to go. So that whole, trying to get this weirdo to eat thing, dude. Don't even waste your time with it now, Carly. I'm telling you, it's assist feeding is the way to go. I'm telling you.
But I don't ever like me. I don't. It's probably my technique. I don't have good luck with assist feeding baby chondros. They will always spit that shit out. Always.
Get it down there, dude. Don't be shy. You got to get it down there. Right? What do you do, Bill? Like this year, I wasn't shy about fucking getting it down to the back of their throat to where they can't get it out. But what do you do, Bill?
I mean, I don't know, without watching like Carly
do it.
Do it. It's hard to say, whether, maybe she's trying too big of an assist meal, or maybe, not getting it down there far enough. What were you trying to assist feed? Were you trying gizzards or pinks or pink heads or?
Well, I'm not doing gizzards anymore because I'm afraid of neurological issues.
Hey, I don't blame you.
But so
the
babies that I just had, so I've already assisted one of them. Those babies are huge. They're massive. Like the biggest one was 16 grams. So I'm just using the regular day old pinkies. I give them a chance, but like I said, they're doing the spastic stuff and then they start running.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get anywhere with that. So like the other one that I did the other day, I'll put it in there and they chomp down on it really hard. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's all you need. And then they just spit it out. But I'm telling you, I have shoved it all the way down. And they spit it out.
I'll tell you just from experience, with pinks, I've had similar experience. Very difficult to assist feed a full size pink. They either explode or they just turn into mush, and you can't. It's difficult to get those things down.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got it all the way down in the throat. And they're like bowing up and like squeezing it out back out.
But are you putting them in the tub with no perch? No, like you got to leave them in the tub and let them do their fucking thing for like 30, 45 minutes sometimes.
But that's the thing is it's down and then they'll spit it right back out.
I think I would try mouse tails.
Yeah.
Mouse tails or rat tails?
Mouse tails.
I'm scared that's not enough. Like I remember doing mouse tails a while back, and the snake was not looking good. Like, and maybe it could have been something else going on with it, but I just remember like the mouse tail almost wasn't like fulfilling the snake's body weight. Like it was just almost not really doing anything to it.
I think if nothing else, it teaches you how to do the assist feed because it's really easy, and it teaches them how to swallow.
Yeah.
Which I think are the two most important things. The nutritional value is almost zero in a mouse tail, but it does teach you how to do it, and it teaches them how to swallow.
Do mouse legs all day, Carly, because they'll get their teeth caught onto the fur, and that shit won't go. Like I had one just sit there with a fucking mouse leg for like hours, and then it just eventually had no choice but to eat. I think I even left it overnight. I was so frustrated with it, saying fucking figure it out, dude. And then I came the next morning, sure enough, it was a little lump in his body. So
I've had them spit out mouse legs.
Yeah, I think you just got to just keep on. Like I definitely had a couple. You're not wrong with that, because I had a couple where I had to go back in there and do it again. I did, there was a couple I at least did 2-3 times, and but then I just didn't get shy of putting that shit fucking down there. And so but yeah,
those ones that I got sent after that male that I purchased, remember the whole $10,000 female that had Nido?
Yeah.
And I got sent 2 red Neos.
Yeah.
That had literally only been giving a mouse head before they came to me. They went to freezer camp because after 6 months of assist feeding them, I was like, you're done.
Yeah.
So,
you get an idea, like
they were losing weight. They were getting smaller.
Yeah. I mean, if they're just eating heads or mouse tails, or really almost anything, they are eventually they're not gonna.
See, I was assist feeding.
Not gonna sustain them.
Yeah, I was assist feeding, and let's be honest, it wasn't assist feeding. I was force feeding them.
Yeah,
I mean, I was having to shove it all the way down.
Yeah.
A rat leg, like a weaned rat leg every 3 days for 6 months, and they were dropping weight.
Yeah, dude. I talk about this. I mean, you could easily stunt a fucking chondro female. Like if you're not getting them on the right track for long enough, they almost just don't grow after a while. And no matter what, and then what sucks is when you try to hit them with food hard, they die. Like their body at that point just can't handle a lot of food because they went years without eating right. And I feel like, you know, you're working that stomach to handle bigger and bigger meals as it's growing, which prime time doing that is at the young stage, right? But when you have a snake that's not been really neglected, but you just have people that feed a lot smaller than others. Like, you know, we talked about Ryan Young, and he made that deal with that other dude where he sent some snakes, and his snakes were a lot bigger than Ryan's because Ryan doesn't feed heavy. But the guy was expecting some big fucking females, which it all depends on how you feed the animal. Not every female is going to be big, and that's just kind of what it comes down to. I have a question, dude. Hey, listen, we always talk about Trap Talks Global. Well, guess what? We have somebody tapped in all the way from PNG. That's right. This guy's literally, he says, hello, everyone. This is Oscar from Monocory. He's from Monocory, Bill. Maybe you could hook it up.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, he has a question. He wants, and this is actually a good topic because we brought this up before as far as cooler temps having the effect on an animal. Like, so he's saying, will cooler temperature during the rainy season affect the health of a snake? A few days ago, he went to the rainforest and found 6 chondros. 4 of them had chicken poo. I don't know what that is, but chicken pox, maybe chicken pox. I don't know, but
I don't know what that is.
I know these things handle a natural drop easily. I think there's also a limit to it, right? I mean, what's your take, Bill? Like, as far as like if somebody were to ask you, what's the coldest I should get my room to? Even though you do things how you do it, what would you recommend someone not going below if it came down to a temperature in the room, you would say?
You know, I think as long as you're giving them daytime heat, you know, I think it's safe to drop them down into the, 70-degree mark. I've come out in my room and it's been 68 degrees. But I shoot for 70 degrees at nighttime cycling. That's with the heat off. But then they have full exposure to daytime normal heat, normal temperatures, 84, 85 degrees. So I think you can, and, we all know, we've all seen the temperatures in Indo. It can get freaking cold
at night. But if the heat, it gets warm, like fresh in the morning, that cold turns into like a now humid 80 degrees pretty quickly, like 8 a.m.
80 and it feels like 90, with the humidity. Yeah. I'm the last person, I think comparing what they do in the wild to what we do with them in captivity is a starting point. Yeah. But I don't think, just because they can tolerate this or that in the wild doesn't necessarily mean that they'll tolerate that in captivity. It's a good place to start, but I think we've evolved, and we've been dealing with these things for decades now, and I think we know what's safe for them and what's not safe. If somebody's saying I'm dropping my temps down to 60 at night, say, well, that's probably a little excessive. First of all, they don't need it. Yeah, they need if you're temperature cycling, they need a very mild drop in temperatures. They're so sensitive to temperature and humidity that 5 degrees is a big deal to them, or it can be. Yeah. You don't need to drop it any more than that.
What do you think, Carly?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I take mine down. My normal nighttime drop is to 76. And then when I'm cycling, it goes down to 72. So, yeah. I mean, and I offer heat less. So like not as much during the day, not as many hours, but I don't think that there's any need to drop them down into the 60s. I think that's especially if you're cycling an animal, not only are you stressing it out because you're introducing a whole nother level of stuff, but you're also stressing it out because you're taking it way too low. And it's just a recipe for disaster. If you're sending something down into the 60s, don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, okay, shout out to Dan the man. Dan's in town, Bill. I think I sent a pitch in the chats.
Saw that.
And he's like, dude, everyone back home is so jealous of me because it was 85 today in San Diego. It's 1 degree in Boston. Okay. Yeah. And so here's it, like, okay, here we are in San Diego, but then we have somebody in Boston. Us humans don't need it to be 1 degree for us to function, or for like, just because it's a certain degree in a certain area doesn't mean we need it to survive. So just as much as a chondro might deal with some low temps, it doesn't need the low temps. Like it's able to deal with it because that's where it's from, but we don't need to mimic the wild. Like that's one thing that people need to realize. Like captivity shit is a lot different when it comes to shit in the wild, you know, and you don't need to mimic the wild. You really don't.
I don't think a single one of these would survive.
No.
Set out in the wild.
Bunch of freaks, bunch of hybrids. No, they'll be dead.
No, would not survive. I've got Beox back here. I don't think that they would survive it either. They're quite pampered at this point. That's what people like. I see so many people that are like, we need to recreate. Well, in the wild, they have this. Well, in the wild, they have bioactive crap and stuff like that. Like,
hey, we're pro bioactive on Trap Talk. Okay, let people live. Let them do their thing. Okay.
We are?
Why?
We are?
Dude,
oh, he lying.
There goes my sponsor for next year. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. I'm just kidding.
But that's just like the same, like this, like I understand that the concept to them of cycling is there. The concept in any animal. My corgi is definitely not going to make it out with wolves, but I can tell you he's still got a winter coat this year, just like nature tells him to get.
Yeah.
He ain't taking down deer or anything. So, I mean, I don't think people understand that. Like, you don't have to, like, these animals are so far removed from the wild. That doesn't make sense to treat them as such.
Yeah. But then again, like, if you're like on the keeping side and breeding just isn't important to you, you want one or two and you want to go ballistic and learn, go ahead, go for it. Have fun. Let me know how it works. And it's not impossible. That's the thing. I've seen some enclosures out there. I should do a follow-up on these, make sure the animals are still alive. But I've seen some enclosures that seem to be pretty fucking awesome and have chondros or either an emerald living in it. But it's like, it's just, okay, can you do 100 chondros like that? I don't think so. You know,
it's the test of time. Can you keep them alive 5 years like that?
That's exactly. Follow up. Let's follow up in a few years, you know?
I don't want to do 100 like this. I don't want to do 100. That's too many.
And listen, MJ, I agree. I think bioactive can be done successfully, but you really have to know what you're doing. You've got to be a chondro connoisseur, and you've got to be a bioactive connoisseur.
It takes a detail-oriented person to do that with a lot of attention.
Yes. And like MJ, like you said, you got one or two that you're dealing with, great. Get in there every day and pick out through that substrate and pick out every piece of mold that you can find and shit and urate and all that. You've got 50 animals. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Hey, there's an isopod in your snake's nostril. You might want to get See what you guys do to me, dude? God dang it. I'm so sorry. All right, Carly, back to business. So yellows. Okay, listen, I love your energy for the yellows because you like the nicer things in life. Like, you're bougie, Carly. That's what I like about you. You like the finer things in life, but here we are. You're fucking coattailing yellows for some reason. We all know reds are the bee's knees, dude. Okay, but that energy's, the yellow and reds are on the same level. I feel like in your head. I want to hear how that is. What makes you so bought into the yellows? Let's give them the flowers that you want to give them, but also, let's branch into some kingline talk as well.
Everybody does blue and black. Everybody does blue and black. And I feel like it's a lot easier, and no hate at all, but I do feel like it's a lot easier to get into the blue and black than it is high yellow, because somebody can go to Bill, and Bill's got amazing, ingredients for a whole thing. Somebody can go to, Steven's got some amazing things that he's doing right now. It's just a lot easier for people to go, okay, I got this, I got this, I got this, put them together in a couple of years, and boom, you've got more blue and you've got more black. The high yellow is a lot harder, I feel like, to recreate and get the desired results that you want, because they are yellow. A lot of them, especially the better ones that I have seen that are coming from the yellow neos, they have that opportunity to still be more, green than you would necessarily want. And I have definitely seen two high yellow animals put together that you do still get green. So I feel like there's just a lot more fine tuning and a lot more, I don't know, just a lot more work that goes into producing really amazing results with the high yellows. But then once you've got it, you've got it. I mean, look at John. A lot of John's stuff is just consistently spitting out high yellow over and over and over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, well, for starters, yellow is my favorite color. So that is just part of it to begin with.
I thought pink was your favorite color.
No, it's not. It's not. I only do the pink just to remind everybody that I'm not a guy. And you better bet everybody who's getting a package today is getting really nice pink paper. Did you like that pink paper, MJ?
Yeah, she sent me all, and it was like the paper that gets everywhere. Okay, like it's like what is it? What do you call that paper? Crinkle paper, pink, very pink. I still might have some on the floor somewhere. I'm not joking. Is that
what the box was shoved with? Pink paper.
Yeah.
With love, Bill. With love.
Nice.
Pink paper. I got pink paper. I got pink envelopes. And now instead of the envelopes, I'll still have the pink envelopes to
yes. Oh, that's cool.
Stickers and stuff. But I also have these wonderful they're like little, like this size.
Yes.
And it's got like all the information in it, and they're pink too.
That honestly, I give you kudos on the effort and you putting that, to Carly's touch. It's your touch. And I think people should do that in this game. Be different and let people know what you're getting from me is special. And this is why it's special, because it's pink.
I also I get a really big kick out of the fact that there is so many men in the industry. And in the back of my head, I just see this big burly man opening this package full of pink shit. And it just makes me smile.
Carly, I wanted to ask you, with your experience, have you found that the nicer looking yellow adults come from yellow neos or red neos? What
yellow?
I've seen both that have looked incredible.
I mean, I've seen both, but it seems to be it just seems to be more consistently with the yellows.
For you.
But it's not even just for me. I mean, when you look at a lot of John's stuff, if we're talking the high yellow stuff, we're not talking about John Lucky. If we're not talking about his,
what about Sock's high yellow line that are red neonates?
I mean, I love my boy from Socrates that is high yellow, but he's got more green on him than the yellow girl back here did.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the only example of what I'm saying.
No, it's not the only example, but I'm just saying, if you had a clutch, let's just say you have a clutch and there's 5 yellow babies and there's 5 red babies, and in the that line has a lot of high yellow babies. I expect the yellow ones to have a better result. That's why the babies that I just got done hatching.
Yeah.
There's only 2 yellow neonates in that clutch and the rest are reds. I'm keeping those 2 yellows. They're not going anywhere. The reds are.
Yeah. Bill,
I don't care how nice the reds look.
Bill, if you were to guess, is that a red or yellow neonate? If you were to just guess.
Everyone knows who Magic is.
Well, to be honest, I don't know if it's red or yellow, and I am certainly no expert at yellow neonates. That's why I wanted to have Carly on, so I could learn some stuff about yellow neos. If I had to guess and throw it out there, I'd say that was a red.
So here's the thing. Okay, my thing is yellow. Okay, yellows do make some amazing high yellows, but reds could do the exact same thing with the right lineage. That's what I'm trying to prove.
So is that a red or yellow?
They can. Yeah, I mean, they definitely can. No one's saying that they can't, but I'm just saying that I have seen the yellow just be more. I've just seen it more passed down with yellow babies.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think here's what we're talking about. Look at this yellow, and I'm going to give you. I want to be devil's advocate. I want to play both sides. So this is a yellow neonate that I think is still fucking like this, from what I remember being at Sock's house, and that is a different type of yellow right there. You're right. The reds can't pull something off like that.
Yeah, to me, that looks like it was a yellow neo.
It was. Yeah, that's a yellow. That's a yellow neo right there.
Okay. What about the animal before that?
That was a red.
That was a red.
That was a red. Okay.
Yeah. But obviously we got people who know what the fuck we're talking about. For the person who has no idea, they're gonna guess probably yellow neonate on that snake we just looked at before, because it's really not that easy to tell if you don't know what you're looking at. If you're not looking at the eyes, the pattern, if you're just looking. I had so many people, shout out to our boy Chase in the chats, but Chase is a younger guy. He's really geeking out over chondros. We had a long talk, and he sent me a bunch of snakes that were high yellow that he thought were yellow neonates. I'm like, bro, those are all red neonates. And he's like, what? And so again, the reds could do exactly what the yellows can do. In a sense, there's levels to it, which we're going to talk to Keenline, because reds ain't doing no Keenline shit. I'll tell you that much. And that's some fine dining right there when it comes to yellows. But before we get to Keenline, what are you really banking on when it comes to yellows besides Keenline stuff? Like, what is it, the JL stuff that you're working, or what high yellow stuff are you really just passionate about, Carly, other than Keenline? Because we're going to get to it right now.
I have a whole project that I have a whole thing that I'm trying to get at. It's I don't know that I'll get there. Matt Morris was trying for the longest before he had some issues. But I'm wanting to do high yellow with instead of like the green speckles that you'll see.
Yeah.
Black.
Ooh.
Black.
Yeah, that was always Matt Morris's project. His dream was to produce high yellow and high black.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want high black. I still want the animals to be high yellow, but like yellow, not mustard yellow.
Okay, so brighter than this is what you're saying.
Yeah, so
okay.
I would consider that mustard. I want like Lumen, the girl that just laid for me, my really high yellow girl.
I see what you're saying.
She's really high yellow, and she's got like white and green speckles to her. Where the green is, I would like to see black.
Okay, you know what? And also a good historical thing with the red neonates that go yellow, a lot of them become a mustard yellow. Like they don't stay the bright yellow that we're talking that the yellows are. So we're talking a whole different shade of yellow for sure.
Yeah, I'm wanting the like bright, vibrant sunflower yellow and with the black speckles. I don't want any blue. I don't want any green. So we'll see if I'm able to get there. I know some people are really like John's got some animals that are really similar to that. Mark's doing great things.
Yeah,
I mean, heck, that animal that Mark's got.
I was just going to mention Mark because he's producing some yellow neonates that have quite a bit of melanism in them as well.
Oh, for sure. We'll see.
I was acting like I was on Mark Hager's strike. I don't know why we haven't brought that guy up yet. It's crazy. We're already an hour deep and we have not brought up Mark once. Sorry, Mark. I swear to God, I'm not mad at you. But yeah, look at this shit. Jesus, man. Mark's been that guy with the yellows. We all know that. Smoking it, but you're definitely helping him right now, Carly. Like helping him prove a lot of points that, yellows are definitely something not to take light to and not to skip out on either. And before we get into Keenline stuff, Bill, when was the last time you made a yellow? Did you make any yellows this year? I could have sworn you made a couple. Yeah,
I had the flu, bred to Manicore. I have 4 yellows, Neos from that. And then I produced one other yellow earlier this year. Can't remember the pairing. But 5 yellows this year.
Yeah. One of Bill's yellows has done great work today or this year for me.
Nice. Tell me about that animal.
Yeah, tell me more.
He's doing great. She's off food, and she's my habitual runner. I mean, every time I put males in there with her, she grounds, she runs, and he said, "I don't care. We'll go to the ground. That's okay."
That's a real man right there.
Yeah. So he's done great. So that was a
Jaeger biscuit.
Yep, and to a one of John's. Actually, Lumen's sister. She was just a red, and now she's green. So she's not high yellow, but the genetics are there
for sure.
Yeah, my one male that got the job done this year was a ground and pounder too. He didn't give a fuck. Took that girl right to the corner and did his thing with her, man. Must be
appreciated. Must
be a Phoenix Reptiles thing. I don't know, man. You should throw that into the ad. Like, by the way,
into my marketing.
The ground and pound friendly.
Ground and pound.
Listen, I've been saying it, having good males. I ended up in, that's why I had a small season this like last fall because of the fact that I ended up with bad some people are not going to say that they're bad sex odds. Okay. I ended up all females. Consistently, everything was just turning out female. And I understand that's not bad for everybody, but when you've only got a few males and only one of them does any work, it is a bad thing.
How many females do you feel comfortable spreading a single male out to?
I don't feel comfortable taking them out at all until they've got the job done. I'd rather them put full effort into one than half-ass effort into two.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've just basically left, I've not kind of like tag teamed male over. I've got one female that I still haven't gotten any males to pair with. And I guess I could have taken one of the males that's been breeding out and put them with her and kind of like tag teamed it over. But I'm just trying not to push my luck. I also don't want a whole bunch of clutches at once. That's not something I wanted. Walked in. I walked in and that's what I was messaging in the trap chat. And I was like, yeah. So, I walked into my office and this is what I see. I'm willing to bet that this thing is off of food. And I had already pulled the male and I was like, please don't be off of food because I don't want an additional one. And sure enough, she didn't eat. And I was like, well, so
good problem.
She's the one that laid 19 eggs last time. So
I'd rather have those problems than other problems, to be honest. So
yeah,
I value my sanity though.
You'll be fine, dude. Send me some babies. You'll be all right. You'll be good. You'll figure it out. You're built for this stuff. You want that kind of stress. You do.
I'm built for this stuff. I cry at almost anything. I don't know that I'm built for this stuff.
A good strong 5-year-old male. I'm comfortable tag teaming him with 2 different females.
Yeah.
Like literally just go 1 week with her.
Yeah.
A few days off, back in with female 2, and I'll do that. Typically during the breeding season. I
thought about it with the love male that I have. He is by far the best breeder. He would breed a sock.
Yeah.
I'm convinced he would breed a sock.
Yeah. It's great to have males like that. I've got a couple of them like that as well.
The boy that I got from you wasted no time. None. Nice. He didn't even wait. I put him in there and he didn't even wait 5 minutes.
Yeah.
How old's that male?
21.
22, that was 21, so 4.
He's 4.
Damn. It's a good age, I think.
Yeah, it's a great breeding age.
4 is good. All right, Carly. So you made quite the stir in a good way, talking about some imports that you and a buddy brought in. I'm just curious, what's the game plan? This is it, right? This is it. I don't see King Lang in the post. I just want to make sure this is it. That's one of them, right?
That's one of the males from Switzerland. Okay,
cool. So can you explain this to me? First and foremost, what is a King Line? And from what I understand, this all started from a sarong locality, which I'm having a hard time believing, but can you tell us what you know as far as like how King Line started and whatnot?
Yeah. So, I being where I am with high yellows and stuff like that, I started in kind of seeing King Line back, when I got into chondros, and I fell in love with them. So I did a whole bunch of research back then, and they are, you're right. They are a line of sarong. When you talk to the guys who created the line, which is Felix Ettinger, and I can't remember. I feel bad that I can't remember the other guys. King and Ettinger is the 2 names. And they basically, which there is some language barrier, but from my understanding, there was a male, a bunch of import sarongs that were brought in, and there was a male that didn't finish the color change completely. There's actually a couple of YouTube videos on it that are really good if you can, translate it. But the male didn't finish coloring up all the way, and they bred that animal to a UK produced sarong that they call blue line over there, which is, from what I've seen, it's just green sarongs that have a really nice dorsal blue to them. And then those animals came out and they went through their OCC and they were green, but they bred those babies, so those F1s, back to the original male, and those popped out high yellow animals. And from there, it has been line bred to produce animals like you're seeing right there. Now, that one is not pure king line. That does have lemon tree mixed into it.
Yeah.
So
So pure,
I want to see what a pure king line looks like.
so a pure king line is a sarong locality.
Which is the one that you have, right?
yeah, all of the ones that both Matt and I have are completely from the stock from King and Ettinger. So they are direct descendants of all those high yellow animals.
Some of those with the blue, I would call tricolor.
Yeah, me too. White, yeah, white.
Well,
Yeah,
blue, yellow, and green.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that blue is a lot more electric than it is in that photo. It was taken on like a cloudy day. The original photo that I posted of that animal was outside, which is too cold outside now, but it's, if you go down a little bit, you'll find it, but it's almost electric. Well, I mean, that's one of the Germany ones, but
That's so fucking nice.
Got blue in it too.
That's a nice looking animal. Down more, you said?
right there,
Where?
I pointed
this-
like
oh,
you
here.
could see it.
I can't look at this. I'm looking at the Instagram screen. Okay, this is it, right?
Yeah.
Oof, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lanta, look at that.
Yeah, that's smoking, but look at all the blue in it.
Yeah, look at that. It's electric blue though. It's like a baby blue, like a legit powder baby blue. I love that blue.
Yeah, beautiful.
So what's the game plan, Carly? Are you trying to make more pure king lines? Like, do you want to prove out this look, or is it already proven and you just want to go fucking ape shit as far as what the possibilities are,
I mean, it's pretty proven. I mean, the breeders that we bought from have seen pretty good results time and time again. Now, don't get me wrong, some of them have more green. So like I have a female that's the sibling to that one, and she definitely has more green, and her blue hasn't like popped like that. It's still kind of like in this like purpley stage, and you can see it on his neck some, where it's still kind of purpley, and then it turns that bright electric blue. So it definitely, that's a sibling, that first one that if you go over. So that's a sibling that Matt has on the West Coast, because, there's some on the East Coast, there's some on the West Coast, because that was a project that we did jointly, bringing those things over.
How many did you bring in, Carly?
14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. I didn't know you brought that many. 14?
Yes.
Wow. Thanks
What
for
did
saying
you end up with sex-wise, like at your place?
At my place, I have got 2 females, 2 males, 4 unsexed.
Okay.
Damn.
Your
else
plan is just to continue to breed those animals together, or are you going to outcross?
Yeah. What's the
No,
deal?
I mean, we'll be doing, we're going to breed them together. We do have outcross. I actually I bought a female sarong from Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal is to kind of mix some US blood into that, especially because I don't want to just keep sibling pairing to sibling pairing, which is why, we branched out and we went to the Switzerland ones. But even then, they're all still coming from kind of the same line. Like the parents were, siblings and stuff like that. So it definitely needs some outcrossing. John's stuff is going to go great in with it.
For sure.
So
So you are going to outcross.
Yeah, 100%. I'm actually hoping to put Lumen bounce back, which is the female that I had lay for me that last in the spring, and she bounced back fantastic. I mean, she's already looking perfect. So the goal is to pair her with one of the Germany males in the spring and to see what comes out of that. So, but now the concern, I guess, that I have is that, Kofiau is a high yellow locality, a lot more related to Aru, I think.
Yeah.
And you can mix that in and it doesn't necessarily show in like the first gen. Like it doesn't, that high yellow, like if you mix a COCO to Biak, a lot of the times from my understanding and from what like Pat has told me is those don't end up being, those offspring don't nearly end up as being as high yellow as like a Kofiao parent would be. But the second generation, if you mix those back into something like that, then you get high yellows. So that might be something that's a bit of a kind of a long haul, and you know, we'll kind of see where it gets. But I'm hoping that mixing that in, I mean, I plan on mixing that into the TSK Calico kids that I have.
Oh, nice.
So
it'll be interesting to see what you do with like a high yellow king line. You mentioned Alex's sarong, which, if I remember right, is a green snake, right?
Yeah, she's green.
So it'll be really interesting to see, you know, how many of those offspring turn out high yellow.
Yeah, I'll be holding. I am not a holdback connoisseur, I guess you could say. I don't Dave D that stuff typically.
Let it fly.
So, do what?
Let it fly.
Yeah. We will be doing that for sure. But the goal is definitely to kind of mix that stuff in.
I'm trying to be a little cool like Dave D. Trying, but sometimes it's hard. If somebody wants that snake, it's really hard to say, okay, I'm not going to take your money. But
my thing is, so with that, like, I get it. The holdbacks there's a place, but I firmly believe that we are. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, we're going to see how that mixes in too.
Hi, Ryan. Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, we're going to see how that mixes in too. But I don't want to hold everything back, like, because people are in this to get good stuff. And I feel like if people don't feel like they can get something good from you, like, oh, she's not going to sell anything good because she holds all the good stuff back, then why would they buy from you to begin with?
People want what they can't have.
Well, but I don't know. Something about somebody getting, like, I had somebody sent me a picture of one of Hot Sauce's siblings, and it was a red, and it's a high yellow. It's going high yellow. And you know, I let that snake go. And you know what? I'm happy about it. Because somebody got something really good out of my collection, which, you know, I feel like will bring them to come back.
And that Bill talks about that good feeling all the time, where he realized, like, damn, I hooked that person up. And it's a good feeling. But Bill, how many times have people been on your bumper about a snake that you specifically said you're holding back and they still press for it anyways? Plenty of times, right? Yeah,
but I don't hold that much stuff back.
So they know there's just a number they need to reach before you say yes.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, kind of like Carly said, I think there's a perception out there with people that breeders, you know, when they sell a Neo, that they don't expect that Neo to end up being anything good, right? I mean, they're selling it because they have low expectations. But once you start putting Neos out there that turn into really, really cool adult animals, then, you know,
get excited.
Yeah, then, you know, people are like, wow, you know, they do release good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it works itself out in the end. I think you know, you hate to give up an animal. You know, I hate to give up an animal. I see it 2 years later and it's just incredible looking. But I think in the end it works itself back around, where that's why I have so many people wanting my animals, you know, because I think they realize that, yeah, I'm going to release some really good shit.
I also have a spending problem. So
you don't say, Carly.
So if I sell snakes, I can buy snakes.
There you go.
Monopoly money. Yeah.
There you go.
It's funny, if you do it right, you'll never really pay for a snake out of pocket if you get to a certain point. It takes time, but once you get to a certain point of having some play money, meaning stuff that you could sell, and you let that build up, next thing you know, you're just only using snake money to buy more snakes. And
that's the goal for all of us.
That's the goal. But again, it you know, you got to crawl before you can walk when it comes to that sometimes. So
it takes a long time.
Long time for sure. And then obviously we got stuff like what Carly talked about, what she went through, and then losing sickness. You will take losses in the meantime of getting there. You know what I mean? So, but you just don't give up. Exciting.
I think that's probably the go-to model with everything. I mean, it takes time. It takes hard work. And if you're not willing to put in the hard work, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. But if you're not willing to go through that, well, did you really deserve the end result anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no reward without suffering. There really isn't. It's and it sucks because people don't want to suffer, but Chondro game, you have no choice. It's gonna happen. You can be Mr. Protective and like, oh, you're doing everything right. Are you? You'll find out.
I know, and there's so many ball python people that I feel like are about to learn that lesson.
Oh, thank you, Carly. I'm praying for so many. Some I'm not praying for, but some I'm really hoping, but then you have other ones. I think they figured out the new they discovered the wheel in some areas. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. You're just not going to listen, are you? There's just some hard-headed motherfuckers out there.
There is. And there's some people that are just diving a little bit
aggressive.
I don't know. They drank a lot of the fucking Kool-Aid because they've just gone full kilter and things. And it's like, please slow down. Please sit down. Please just breathe for a second. We're not reinventing the wheel here. Just chill. So
it's hard. Easier said than done.
It's happened because he knows.
Oh my God. I love it when I talk to somebody who's like, yeah, I heard you don't want BX. I'm like, oh, rock God. Yeah. What juice are you fucking drinking, buddy? It's to each their own, dude. You learn on your own. I learn on my own. And you know what's crazy? I talk about being a hardhead. I'm still hard-headed. I'm that guy who makes things difficult for myself. So I'm just preaching from the choir here. Okay, that's all. So I
am too, but I do think that this is one of those things that you're not just going to dive head first into this and get really good results. You're going to have to slow down.
That's God. I had a handful of these guys that were like, yeah, I'm paying you, and then I got Bill on Wednesday, and I'm like, holy shit! Like, I'm flattered, but dude, are you okay having 5-6 different payments at once? Like, and do you need all these at once? Like, but
I've done that. I can't say that I've done that.
I haven't, but I'm not here to judge either. Like,
I have.
You're supporting my boy Bill. You're supporting me and others. Fucking God, thank you. Fuck.
No.
Merry Christmas.
I think that people, my more thing that I'm talking about when I'm saying, hey, people need to slow down, is they get animals and they're like, oh, I want to get a breeder ready female right now.
Oh my God.
A breeder ready male right now. And I want to I know some, a couple of people that I've sold animals to and they're instantly trying to pair. And I'm like, please sit down and breathe. Cause I'm afraid you're stressing me out. Yeah. B, you're going to stress yourself out. And you just you have so many questions that could have been answered if you would have just taken the time to learn the animals, keep the animals, and don't stress out about all the stuff that you're doing right now. You're going to have more success in the long run.
Yeah. You're going to get there.
Long-term game. That's for sure. People that try to cut corners.
You can't cut corners with this.
No.
They'll learn the hard way.
No. Yeah. And it was crazy when you're going through the hard shit, you're going to remember the nice days of you just feeding and there was no
feeding.
Yeah.
Watching them grow, watching them change.
Yeah, enjoying it, being that fucking green, wet behind the ear keeper, which you should always be at heart. You should always just be brand new into it because whenever you're just trying to speed things up, dude, it's like when you bite more than you can chew in this game. That's why some people pack it up, and because they're just like, dude, I did too much too fast. I knew at least 3 guys last year that did that. And so one of them found healthcare in a different country. Never heard from him again. So you just never know with people, dude. You really don't. I almost got you to laugh. Woo! That was great. Okay. Listen, we get an hour and a half. Okay, so we got to wrap things up. Bill, anything you want to ask Carly before we close off tonight? Any wrap up questions for Carly?
Yeah. Obviously, Carly and I know each other very, very well. Carly, who was your mentor or mentors when you were first, getting going in this game? Who were the people that you reached out to? You got your first animal, your first chondro, your first couple of chondros. Who were the people that kind of brought you along and helped you get going?
Patrick and you.
Oh, Texas boys.
Sweet of you to say.
Shout out to Patrick and you.
Patrick is that guy for sure.
I still blow Patrick up. I stay asking him questions, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Sometimes you could tell me to shut the fuck up, but it's okay.
I think of all the people that, that are in the community, I think Patrick would have to be the number one mentor of people across the board. Like,
okay, let's say we collected the hours he spent with people helping. Dude, no one's surpassing Patrick when it comes to hours on the phone helping people. He helped anybody. I sent them fucking people I barely know, and they come back like, dude, I spent fucking 2 hours on the phone with Patrick. I'm like, sounds about right. You know what I mean? Like if you have him that interested to want to answer your questions, you're gonna get the deepest answer you could ever ask for, and it's gonna go forever. But you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn a shit ton. And shout out to Patrick, man. Like, and he's still about that life. He's still here to help people. It's just he hasn't changed a bit.
After all this time, a lot of people get kind of burned out answering the same questions, over and over and over. Patrick's not one of those people. He has the ability to just keep burning and keep burning. So.
And the thing about Patrick, dude, like, you say that, Bill, like, you get asked a lot of the same questions. And me, I feel like I get a lot of the same people asking like stuff that I don't want to say it's arrogant, but it's kind of like, oh, I'm looking for an adult female and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, they're just curious, they're reaching out because they don't know how to get one. And, you should always kind of just treat them the same way you would want to be treated when you're brand new into something. You know what I mean? And when you're doing this for so long, you kind of forget the person asking just doesn't know. They're just fucking new. You know what I mean? And Patrick's always that guy to almost bring those people on with ease and let them know it's okay to ask questions. Cause I was one of them, dude. Dipshit had no clue. And Patrick, dude, there's been times, Patrick, we spent conversations. I already asked him this stuff like a year ago and I forgot that I asked him. And, and it's like, dude, MJ, we've had this conversation before. I'm like, dude, you're right. We have. And so, dude, Patrick Holmes, appreciate you. You're a godsend, buddy. You're awesome. So, but yeah, dude, amazing time, Carly. Listen, you're a great asset to the community because you help a lot of people. You deal with some shit, you know what I mean? There's Facebook shitheads out there and I like how you deal with those people as well. But at the end of the day, it's because you're doing work. People, you're going to get haters no matter what, if you're doing the right thing. Bill, even to this day, deals with haters. That's a good sign. That means you're doing something. So, great work.
Telling me that somebody hates me and I don't know about it?
No, you do know about it because you go after them on Facebook in the comment threads. I've seen it. You don't back down. I love that about you. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot more people should stand up for their shit. And so either way, I'm excited to have you back on again on the show with Matt. We'll bring you and Matt on and we'll kind of do a real deep dive on King Line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that we definitely should because there's a whole lot more information to that. And there's a whole lot more in that process. And I can't even talk about half of the process because I wasn't there. He dealt with a lot of crap with customs and whatnot. Yeah. So that's a whole thing that's really interesting to hear.
All right.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking forward to it. Where can people follow you, hit you up at? Why don't you drop all your social media plugs before we let you go, Carly?
Yeah. So, my Instagram is the best way to go. Please don't message me on Facebook. I hate that shit. But I have a Facebook. You can follow it. Just don't message me there. But I have Instagram and that's mostly where I'm active. That's mostly where I'm active on stuff.
Why do you hate Facebook messages over Instagram messages?
Because it just
the fucking difference.
It makes me because I like to leave my Facebook on my like regular Facebook and I don't add people. So I do not add reptile people unless like you're on there and MJ is on there because I know y'all. There's creepy people out in the world and I post my kids on my Facebook. So I've got a big bold thing on my Facebook that says, don't add me. I don't add you unless I know you.
Yeah, and
it does all this weird switching.
We all know that dwellers of dwellers are on Facebook. Like the most fucking lowest of the lowest, dude. They're on Facebook. Oh, just so you know.
So
gotta be careful.
I just don't like how it switches in the app. That's all. And so a lot of times people will message me on Facebook and it goes unread for like a week, and then I'm like, dang, I should check my Facebook messages.
Yeah.
On the page. So.
All right. Well, guys, go follow her. Appreciate you so much, guys. But give it up. It's a wrap for Carly Coastal Morelia, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been a great episode. Thank you, Carly.
Hey, Marshall sends his love.
Oh, okay.
Later, Carly. Have a good night.
He's going to message you on Facebook later.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to sell me a snake. Is that it?
Doubt it.
He's going to message you on Facebook later.
I'll answer that Facebook message.
He'll for sure sell you yellow. Have a good night. All right. Hey, good episode, Bill. What'd you think?
Yeah, Carly's been a good friend of ours for a long time now. So it's kind of like having family on, when you have her on this episode. It was actually a good episode. I'm sorry that Marshall missed it, but, the three of us just know each other so well. And it was a good night. It was a good chance to talk to her. I talk to her a couple times a week. You probably do too.
Yeah.
Through various outlets or whatever. But it was really nice to have her on tonight.
One thing about Carly is like her interest, her passion, her love for all this has carried throughout the whole time since I met her. It's actually probably only increased. And see something that, dude, for that loss, I don't want to say the number that snake that she lost, bro, but to take a loss like that and fucking suck it up and dipping away from social media a little bit and come back, dude, that's, if you're able to accomplish that, you're meant for it.
Listen, she's done it, you've done it, and I've done it.
Yeah.
And you especially in the beginning, MJ, man, dude, you paid your dues for
years,
more than 1 year, more than a couple of breeding seasons where, things just seem to beat you down.
Yeah.
But you came back, you always just came back. You never lost, you never got beat out of it. You took your licks. And then look at you now. Look at this year.
Well, look who my friends are. You think my friends are gonna let me give up? You think my friends are just gonna let me fucking roll over and be a fucking prolapse king? No, I don't think so. Okay. Thank you, Bill, for the inspiration. By the way,
it's just been great to see what you and Carly both have done in the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, Carly hasn't even yet had her blowout season yet, and she's going to.
No, she has. She's on the cusp.
She's on the cusp, and she's gonna.
The next year or two, all of a sudden she's going to be on here talking about her 6 clutches that she didn't want.
Yeah. Bill, again, happy belated birthday. You're my boy. I appreciate you so much. Brother. Phoenix Reptile, subscribe on IG. You can catch Carly there and many other amazing chondro keepers. But give it up. It's a wrap for Bill Stiegel, Reptiles, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll see you next week, brother. We'll get Marshall back with us.
All right, brother. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Good night, guys.
Peace. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Before you head out, please hit the like button. If you thought this episode was mad flowers to the yellow neonates, hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Select all. You'll be reminded of every podcast released out of the network. 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday. Brand new episodes released right here. All audio platforms as well. Buzzsprout, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the major ones. Okay. Shout out to all my sponsors. Find the link in the description below. Appreciate all the love and support. I'll catch you here Thursday. Big episode Thursday, so hope you guys are ready. But yeah, have a good night, and I'll see you at the top. Sorry for the interruption, folks, but a quick word from our sponsors. Green tree pythons, emerald tree boas, and plenty other arboreal snakes have been quite the popularity here at the Trap Talk Reptile Network, which brings me to today's sponsor, the Reptile Perch. Head over to the reptileperch.com and Reptile Perch on Instagram. See what type of design PVC perch is best for your arboreal reptile. But first and foremost, I would also check out David Brom's Green Tree Python availability on the website. And you can also check out his Instagram just to stay current on any projects or any productions that he posts. Thank you so much, David Broms, for your ongoing support. Looking forward to seeing what you have to show in the 2025 season. When you think about building a good community and being a leader of that community, nobody comes to mind better than Mark Hager over at Texas Chondros. That's right. Make sure you head over to TX Chondros on Instagram and also head over to Mark's website. See what he has available Green Tree Python wise and be ready for quite the 2025 Green Tree Python breeding season out of Mark Hager. He's a veteran in the Green Tree Python game, one of the best and nicest breeders in the Green Tree Python game. He's been putting on the whole state of Texas for as long as I've known him. So if you want to see all the amazing other chondro keepers out of the state of Texas, another good reason to go follow Mark Hager over at TX Chondros on Instagram. And again, head over to his website, texaschondros.com. You can find all the links in the description below. Thank you so much, Mark Hager, for supporting the Trap. Treat.